This is episode 5, Canyons, Cliff Dwellings, and the Cost of Forever, the National Parks of the Southwest.
It's not just silence, it's something older than sound. You're standing on the edge of a canyon a mile deep, watching sunlight crawl across stone that remembers a time before life had legs.
And under your feet, woven into the cliffs and canyons, are the remnants of thousands of years of human history. Not lost, not ruined, just still there.
This is the Southwest, and you're listening to Time Tellers.
I'm Renee.
I'm Dan. This is the final episode in our 5-part series on the U.S. National Parks. And if you've ever stood at the Grand Canyon or walked the ruins at Mesa Verde, or seen the sunrise in arches, then you know this land doesn't whisper, it speaks.
Have you been to the Grand Canyon, Dan?
We've discussed this in episode 1.
Oh, did we? I'm sorry, we recorded that a while ago. I loved it. That is a gorgeous... Anyways, in this episode, we'll follow rivers through red rock, climb into ancient homes built in stone, debate presidents, protest pipelines, and meet the people who've lived in these places for centuries, long before they were parks.
These are parks about scale. Geological, spiritual, historical, and they carry stories with jagged edges.
I love the Southwest. I do. Love it. The Grand Canyon is, well, it's the Grand Canyon. You know, the postcards. You don't need us to describe it, and we would do it badly.
It's a Grand Canyon. But here's what you might not know. It's not just a geological marvel, it's a cultural one. 11 native tribes have ancestral connections to the canyon, including the Havasupai, Hopi, Zuni, and Navajo.
For the Havasupai, this canyon isn't scenery, it's home. They lived inside it for generations. But when the park was created in 1919, they were removed, confined to a small reservation and barred from their sacred places.
It took until 1975, more than 50 years, for the federal government to return 185,000 acres of their ancestral land.
However, that is less time than it took other nations to get their ancestral land back, or part of it, I mean.
Some of them still do.
Yeah. It's still too long, but, you know.
Never should have happened.
Yeah. The park's origin story is equal parts wonder and resistance. John Wesley Powell, the one-armed Civil War veteran, led the first U.S. expedition through the canyon in 1869. His writings helped shape the myth of the untamed West.
In 1903, Theodore Roosevelt stood on the South Rim and said, "Leave it as it is. You cannot improve it. The ages have been at work on it, and man can only mar it."
And then, when Congress hesitated, he used the Antiquities Act to declare it a national monument in 1908. It finally became a full national park in 1919.
Later, in 1960s, plans to build hydroelectric dams inside the Grand Canyon ignited a national outcry. The Sierra Club ran full-page ads asking, should we also flood the Sistine Chapel so tourists can get nearer the ceiling?
The dams were stopped, but their cousin, Glen Canyon Dam, wasn't. Its creation flooded hundreds of miles of canyon upstream, birthing Lake Powell and a conservation heartbreak that still stings.
Today, the Grand Canyon remains awe-inspiring, but it also remains contested over water, air quality, tourism, and tribal sovereignty.
Head north to southwest Colorado, and you'll find one of the most culturally important parks in the entire system, the Mesa Verde National Park.
Here, tucked into the sandstone alcoves, are the remains of ancient villages. Cliff Palace, Spruce Tree House, Balcony House, stone masonry, kivas, handhelds worn smooth by centuries of use.
The ancestral Puebloan people lived here, from about 600 to 1300 CE. They were astronomers, engineers, potters, farmers, and builders.
And then, sometime in the late 1200s, they left. Probably due to drought, environmental pressure, and conflict. But not disappearance. Their descendants are very much alive today. The Zuni, Hopi, and Rio Grande Pueblos.
Early quote-unquote discovery by ranchers in the 1880s led to looting, because of course, it's the American pastime. Artifacts stolen, not just American, European pastime too. Sacred sites desecrated, that sparked a movement to protect archaeological heritage.
Enter the Antiquities Act of 1906, which gave presidents the power to protect cultural landmarks. Mesa Verde was one of the first parks created under that new idea.
It was the first national park for archaeology, not scenery. That matters. It marked a shift. Nature was sacred, sure, but so were the people who lived in it.
Today, the park works with 26 affiliated tribes to interpret these spaces with respect. Rather than mystery, not lost cities, but ancestral homes.
The state of Utah alone has 5 national parks. They're called the Mighty Five. Arches, Canyonlands, Capitol Reef, Bryce Canyon, and Zion.
These parks were red rock poetry, arches, hoodoos, slot canyons, mesas, formed over eons by water, wind, and time.
But they're also full of human stories. From ancient petroglyphs to Mormon settlers to Uranian miners to tourists with GoPros and water shoes.
Let's talk about Zion, the oldest of the bunch. Designated as Mokenweep National Monument in 1909. Renamed Zion in 1919 after a local Mormon settler's name for the area.
Zion's narrow slot canyon, the Narrows, is one of the most iconic hikes in the world. But yeah, those cliffs also hold ancestral Puebloan and Southern pirate stories, which only recently are being told.
Then there's Arches, with over 2,000 natural stone arches. Also a great name. It became,
very creative.
It became a national park in 1971, but not before it was nearly paved over with oil rigs.
Gross. And Canyonlands, which Edward Abbey called a, quote, hard, mean place, unquote. He worked as a park ranger nearby, and his book Desert Solitaire is both a love letter and a rage scream to the desert.
The desert, by the way, is full of life and sacred and deeply political because...
In the last decade, 2 national monuments in the Southwest became front-page news. Bear Ears and Grand Staircase Escalante, both in Utah.
Bear's Ears is sacred to the Navajo, Ute, Hopi, Zuni, and other tribes. It's full of ancient dwellings, rock art, and ceremonial sites.
In 2016, after decades of tribal advocacy, President Obama declared it a national monument, the first to be tribally led in its proposal and vision.
Then, in 2017, the Trump administration shrunk Bear's Ears by 85%, opening it to drilling and grazing. Lawsuits followed, protests, outrage.
Rightfully so. In 2021, President Biden restored its full size and began efforts to include co-management with tribal nations.
The same happened to Grand Staircase Escalante, created in 1996, shrunk in 2017, restored in 2021.
Catching a pattern there? These aren't just political fights, they're questions about what the parks mean, who they're for, who decides what's sacred, who gets to tell the story, and who gets to benefit from the resources in the parks.
The Southwest isn't just where parks were born, it's where their future is being argued, rewritten, and rebuilt in real time.
Lightning round, Southwest edition. Are you ready? Most iconic view.
Grand Canyon at golden hour. No contest.
Best hidden gem.
Canyon de Chelly, still home to Navajo families and co-managed with the Navajo Nation.
Most alien landscape. And we do mean extraterrestrial. That is the proper definition for the word alien. Well, one of them. Carry on.
Bryce Canyon. It's like walking on another planet made of coral and fire.
Most dangerous animal.
Tourists in flip-flops near cliff edges.
Fair. And also the start to many a true crime documentary.
The Southwest holds deep contradictions. It's open but contested, sacred and exploited, protected and perpetually under threat.
But it also holds time you can see, time you can touch, rock layers that span billions of years, petroglyphs that span thousands.
This region shows us what parks can be, not escapes from the world, but engagements with it.
There's proof that beauty isn't just visual, it's cultural, emotional, relational.
When we're protecting these places, we're not just saving rocks and rivers, we're honoring ancestors, listening to voices, and betting on the future.
That wraps up our 5-part journey through America's continental national parks.
Wait, did you just foreshadow something?
I did foreshadow something.
Oh boy.
Like a good little podcaster should.
From the forests of Acadia to the geysers of Yellowstone, from the Smoky Mountains to the Red Rock Canyons of Utah, we've tried to show not just the parks, but the people, stories, and struggles behind them.
These places aren't perfect, just like our country isn't perfect. And they weren't born clean, but just like our country. But they're still worth fighting for, just like our country.
And worth telling stories about. I was waiting for your line.
Just like our country, sorry.
Because in every tree ring, every cliff dwelling, every trail, you'll find time carved into the land.
And we'll be here, telling it, or trying to. One echo at a time. Bye!